Okay, part 3, weight painting. So we've got the hand rigged, as you can see here. And if I just click on names, we can see it's what each bone has been named. But I've actually called the controller bone controller and the effector effector just to differentiate them from the main bone structure. The next thing that we need to do is to, if we hit the Z key and go in, let's have a look, and go into in object mode, might help. If we go in and grab that bone, click in the armature bones panel here, we've got a whole lot of little squares here. If we click the second square, it'll put it on the second layer, and the second layer for that bone and that bone as well. So the three main bones are now hidden away. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to select those bones, and down here in armature, the display options will change from octahedron to B bone. So we click on that, and then we hit either option S on the Mac, Alt S on the PC, and make the controller bone a wee bit bigger so that we can see it when we're zoomed out. Okay, now the next thing that we do is go to object mode, click on our mesh, and then click on our controller bone, Control P, make parent to armature, create from bone heat, and then we'll simply go back to select the bone, go to pose mode, and we'll pose our hand. Okay, and then we'll go hit the 7 on the number pad, and we'll go into the top view. Then we go back to object mode, select the mesh, and then down here we've got vertex groups. We'll go through and select the controller bone. Also go to weight paint first in the mode. So we're on the controller bone, and we need to subtract all these weights. So we'll just paint till they all become blue, which is default coloring. Okay, holding down the option key, I'm sort of rotating the model around, or the alt key, rotating the model around. Just check to see we've got everything. Okay, back 7 key again, and then we go to index 1. I beg your pardon, we'll bone 1, we don't want that, we just want the bone that's affecting, and bone 2, that's fine, and that bone there needs to be all blue as well, so that the hand stays anchored. The whole hand doesn't move about when we move the controller bone. So it's really punched out of shape, as you can see. So just go through and paint all these back into position. Nice. Okay. Still a wee bit. Still one that we haven't quite got. So we go back through. There we go. Got that one. And there we go. Good. Right. Okay. 0 on the number pad. And we'll just test it now. We'll go back to object, select our controller, hit the S key, whoops, should be in pose mode, hit the S key, and not too bad, not too bad. Next thing to do is to put a restriction on the rotation of this controller bone, so that when we pull it down here, you can see it popping up at the back. I haven't quite got the got the weight painting right, so we'll go back into object mode, select the mesh, go to weight paint, and we'll select the controller bone again, and there is one area I don't there we go, gotcha. There we go. Back to the 0 key, back to object, select the controller, back to pose mode. Now we don't want this to punch too far around. Oops. Too far around because we lose a lot of volume here. So what we can do is to go here to the constraints, click add constraint, and limit the rotation across the red axis, the x-axis. So we'll click limit x, and we'll have the minimum, say minus 75. Okay, so that means that when we rotate it, you can see it's stopping. It won't let us go beyond that 75, and so it'll maintain some of that volume. Okay, so basically there we have a weight painted finger. I mean, you can still put a lot more vertices and really finely weight paint it, feather out the weight maps, so that you get a much nicer deformation, but that's essentially how we go about weight painting